What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with a Saturday early morning edition of NFL Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell goes a long way for me on this video, goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize member. Great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. My friends, it's week 7 already. Week 7. I got a blend of plays. I have a money line for you. I have 2 player props, 1 receiving, 1 rushing, and then a plus 525 touchdown. What a time to be alive. But I think they're all really, really good plays here. The 4 that I've got for you. Got even more in terms of pick'em cards and player props and all the other goodness over in the Lindy Discord, which again, we still have code Lindy NFL rocking for you right now. Just $10. You know what? Let me just pull up the card. Just makes it way easier. We got ourselves $10 for the weekly, 25 for the monthly. Would love to have you guys come kick it in there just because, MLB's just been, it's been Ohtani-esque, which, it's just basically saying it's the GOAT. Telling you what, friends, 50% off, jumping on in for the weekly. It's been paying for itself. I have no other way of saying it. We're unit tracking over everything on X that you can see for all of my long shot plays. We're having an amazing time with Kevin Gausman over 15.5 outs, with all of these player props that show up day of in the NFL streets. NBA as well gets to you Tuesday, which your boy pretty good at. So Lindy Discord, 50% off to be able to jump in there. Less than $1 a day signing up for the monthly. I strongly suggest that. But you know what? You want to try it out for a week for $10, see what it's like. I guarantee you'll have yourself a damn good time. Alrighty, y'all. Let's get ourselves to some leans, shall we? The not plays, but potential plays. There's one in particular. I want to turn the camera in the correct fashion. You know what? It's week 7, baby. We kind of know what we're dealing with some of these teams. However, a brand new character enters the ring after a 6-week suspension. Rashee Rice off the bench. He was a bad boy, but now a year and a half of dealing with this crap later, we've got ourselves Rashee Rice on a field, which Kansas City looked pretty good against Detroit last week. And now Patrick Mahomes gets another weapon added to the fray, not to the band, but to the fray here for him. And Xavier Worthy, curious to see what his role is going to be and how they're going to utilize him with Rashee Rice going to the slot. You got yourself Juju Smith-Schuster and Tyquan Thornton. Those two might get banished to the shadow realm with Rashee back, because Rashee confirmed very good at the footballs, extreme possession receiver, middle of the field slot. He does everything. He can do everything. Rashee Rice is very good. Travis Kelce production going to go way down, but they're 11.5, 12.5 point favorites here against the Raiders. The Raiders just have fun, Ashton Genty. Have fun against Kansas City here in its fully operational Death Star form. Yeah, best of luck to you in your bra. Oh, yeah. What was I going to say? There's one other thing. Oh, yeah. The running back usage that we're looking at here. I've constantly had plays on these guys. We ended up firing up Pacheco. Now the books have kind of caught on to this. Plus, they're 12.5 point favorites. It's not Detroit here on the other side. So while we cashed the Pacheco play last week, I think you stay away from the backfield. Kareem Hunt, that was the other note that I had, where might look at his receiving yards, but definitely want to stay away from the running game, the rushing props. That is specifically because I think there's a high variance number attached to all of it, and it looks efficient this week. We got Judkins. Speaking of extreme weather here in Cleveland, it's going to be blustery. It's going to be blowing, and we're going to have a 92.5 rushing yard prop on Judkins. Just give me up to 100 plus in this event. If it ends up being one of those spots where they just have to run the ball because you can't even throw it, yeah, Judkins is probably going to get some work. In Miami stacking the box hasn't exactly worked for them against running teams in the past here. There's lots of gaps, lots of issues that they're having. Miami in general, just lots of issues. There's that. They hired a nerd. That might be part of it. As for Miami on the other side, Devon Achane, I'm a little worried about his usage purely because there is a lot of trade speculation in Miami. They're going nowhere. They ain't going nowhere because they're not bad boys for life. Drake May, over 20.5 pass completions. Another game that there's some sneaky weather. In fact, these 3, Cleveland, Miami, Tennessee, New England, Chicago, New Orleans. Ironically enough, all 3 here on the lean side. I didn't even think about that intentionally. I'm just bringing it up now. But I think our most weather-affected games of week 7. So pay attention to it before kickoff. See if there's anything we can learn. Obviously, I'll be in the Discord covering that, and I'll be on the Stochastic YouTube channel leading you up to lock from a fantasy perspective. If you haven't checked out Live Before Lock, we have 20,000 people watching that all the time. Would love to have you guys come kick it over there as well if you're playing on DraftKings FanDuel in the DFS streets. But Drake May has been awesome. I just get a little bit worried about the blustery wind stuff, and I don't want to double count because it's not like books aren't aware that there's going to be weather in these spots either. I would hope they do. Guys, books can look at weather too. I don't know why that ends up being the major talking point. For me, it's just simply that Judkins, he's going to get all the rookie opportunity. He's just dominating the backfield. But Drake May, this Tennessee Titans defense, I don't think we're that worried about it whatsoever. Drake May, 236.5 I'm looking at for his passing yard props. Everything across the line. I mean, the guy hasn't had under 100 passer rating now since week 1. He's been incredible. And if it weren't for that stupid Vegas home loss, I mean, we'd be talking about New England being 5-1. Instead, they're still pretty good, 4-2, taking on Tennessee here. And his pass completion numbers, he's actually only exceeded this number once in the last 3, twice in the last 5. Again, we're playing a small sample size sport, and I don't like doing the last X number of times, X number of games, or Y number of games. It's just not my go-to deal because it doesn't really tell us anything. But Tennessee, they're going to allow a lot of the dink and dunk. We saw Stephon Diggs kind of get taken out of it last week after his insane performance against his former team, the Buffalo Bills, which might have gotten exposed against Atlanta to some extent, but that's a conversation for a different day, or for the last slide on the next set of leans. But we've got ourselves Tennessee on the other side. Lots of dinged up pieces. Calvin Ridley here. Ayo Manor, he's probably going to end up being more of a go-to type dude in this spot, which is a little disgusting to say out loud. And yeah, Cam Ward needs to look better. I just thought that things might get better. New Orleans taking on Chicago, and this is another blustery, blurry little game, just from a win perspective. No snow yet. But New Orleans, Alvin Kamara, sounds like they're going to end up standing pat with him. Just nobody's really meeting the price for him. We're getting closer to the deadline here for things, so yeah, I think about that like for Devon Achane, who is getting tied to a lot of different teams, including Seattle. I didn't see that one coming, although Kenneth Walker, not exactly good this year. Zach Charbonnet, not exactly good. Their passing game's been insane. Sam Darnold, again. You'd look good in purple and yellow right now. I hate being a Minnesota Viking fan, but for myself here, I look at the Chicago side of things. One player I want to have in the back of your mind that I'm paying attention to, Luther Burden. This guy's got to be on the field a little bit more. I don't think that they're getting enough out of some of these other pieces that they're trying to make things. Zacchaeus has had a lot of drops. He's had a lot of issues just holding on to the football. Duvernay's never going to get out there for the most part. We kind of know what he is from his Baltimore days, more of a return guy, but Burden III has to be getting some more field time. He's been good whenever called upon. He had a couple of big, huge plays against Dallas's secondary. Then he was a little bit quiet there against Vegas and then came back 4 for 4, 51 yards last time out, but had that 37-yarder that he ripped off, and he's just got that big type play potential. They've only utilized him in the running game once. I do expect a little bit more of those end-around Xavier Worthy type plays, but right now, Chicago minus 4.5. I just look at Caleb Williams. I look at Ben Johnson. There seems to be some rapport that they're building as they go along. I want to be early to the party on stuff like this. And while Kellen Moore's offense is one that I notoriously like, Spencer Rattler, even though he's played okay, just can't do it here. Just can't do it. It'll be Chicago or pass, or props or pass, specifically Burden III, because why not light money on fire? The Giants taking on Broncos here. Bo Nix is plus money over 1.5 passing touchdowns. I don't know who that's going to. Sutton, Franklin, Mims, lots of pieces that they can be looking at. As for on the Giants side, the Jackson Dart thing, 40.5 rushing yards. This is a notoriously bad spot. One, for pass catching running back situations. Cam Scattaboo might be looking at scatting under on that one. But I do think that you've Jackson Dart also QB spy action. Broncos defense is so talented. And I'd said that at the beginning of the year. They looked awful against Indy, although dome type shootout game. Makes sense. Let's get up in the air in Denver. It's going to be a nice day there for what it's worth, but I do think it's a nice opportunity to jump on Bo Nix, continuing to ascend this passing game. Evan Ingram on the field a little bit more, although we didn't expect a huge snap share for him coming into this year, not compared to his Jacksonville days, or even the Giants days, that's for sure. But I do look at Bo Nix as one who is going to game manage the living hell out of it. The Giants, they should be able to do whatever they want through the air on them, have a stout enough defensive unit there on the front four where I could see the Broncos finding a little success, but not as much success with the running game. That kind of makes me want to get those touchdowns by air. UPS. What can Brown do for you? or in this case, orange. Green Bay taking on Arizona. Oh boy, just this whole game just looks disgusting. I'm pretty sure Jacoby Brissett is going to end up starting. Kyler Murray practiced limited, but he wasn't throwing to any of the main guys yesterday in practice, that being Friday. So we're probably looking at Jacoby Brissett, who, yeah, he had revenge in his heart, although how can you have revenge against a team that gave you a shot? Gave you some money coming out of New England there to Indy. But yeah, anyway, he looked all right. This is a completely different ball of wax here with the Green Bay Packers. They should be able to get after it, do whatever they want. I just don't see Arizona running game doing absolutely anything. Marvin Harrison hasn't really been all that good. Trey McBride might get targeted 58,942 times, give or take a few. We got Washington and the Cowboys, and something I've been feeling just coming this way all week, and I still haven't found a way to take advantage of it because nothing's posted. Nobody's taking my action on Profit X, where you can actually post on some of these plays, like McCaffrey. He's had like the upper echelon of 25.5 receiving yards all week, where I'm just like, hey, anybody want this for minus 110? Anybody want this for minus 125? No? I'll make it minus 150, and I still haven't had any takers on it. And why do I care so much about that? Because I know Terry McLaurin isn't playing. He was announced out on Friday. And as of Saturday morning, I am positive Deebo Samuel doesn't play either. And nobody's reporting it. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody cares. I care. I want Luke McCaffrey reception ladders. This guy is going to be the one who's on the field ad nauseum here now. In fact, we're going through some of the snap shares here for Washington, and Jaden Daniels back at the helm. Remember that? So you can't even use some of those dinged up Terry McLaurin spots there where it was Marcus Mariota, which is obviously a worse situations in weeks 3 and 4. They went 1-1 during the duration, and Jaden Daniels has come back and looked absolutely ridiculous. But you got no Deebo Samuel, Austin Eckler out for the season, and you've got yourself no Terry McLaurin. It's going to be Chris Moore. It's going to be Luke McCaffrey. Jalen Lane probably ends up being on the outside looking in as well. I think the snap share is a little bit volatile. Maybe it becomes a little bit of a hot hand approach here at the wide receiver position, but I think Luke McCaffrey has the most talent of those three. Chris Moore, journeyman. We're going to see Jalen Lane be a journeyman, and Luke McCaffrey, no thank you. Just Luke McCaffrey's my boy. Just saying no thank you as in like everybody else. Yeah, Jalen Lane, not for me this week. McCaffrey for me this week. Speaking of McCaffrey, how about his brother? Bijan and CMC touchdowns. They are so short in the marketplace, and I just could not figure out what to do with this game. George Kittle expected back for week 7. That's big news. If you have him on the fantasy bench at the moment, take him off of that all. Did he even get an IR? Yeah, he was on the IR. But Bijan Robinson, what can you say about this guy? He's been like the best offensive player in football so far. He would just, he's breaking absolutely everything. Ripping off runs, huge in the passing game. You can line him up in the slot. They're moving him around the field all over the place, making Michael Penix look way better than he's been to start off this season. And Mac Jones, Mac Jones, expected to be starting yet again for this one. I just don't know where the ball is going to be going. No Ricky Pearsall again. You're going to get some kind of dinged up version of Juwan Jennings. This guy is just out there struggling every single time to just stay alive. I kind of feel bad for him, but Ayuk's been out forever. Pearsall's been out forever. Kittle's been on the IR, coming back here in this spot. Ray McLeod on the Atlanta side. He's your main guy out. Oh yeah, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, somebody who I've notoriously bet way too much on this show in my lifetime. Yeah, he's out as well on IR. So just a disgusting game. So maybe you just take the 2 super short touchdowns, combine them, make yourself a tiny bit of money because they're going to be on the field ad nauseum. Although Tyler Algier, anybody enjoy that one? Wish I had bet him first touchdown. I'm still in shambles. 50% off though. Lindy Discord, would love to have you guys there at Tails. Plus, be like Lindy, join Tails today. We've got this rocking for you. Before we get to the official plays, why don't you just go to tails.bet quick? I know college football, all the rage here today on Saturday, as it should be. But I'm about to break down some official plays for you. But I know that I'm going to have more that I'm going to put out for free and VIP there over at tails.bet/Lindy. You simply go there or follow all of the other experts that are throwing out some free plays for you during the course of the week. You got Saturday college football, you got Sunday NFL, Monday NFL, and you know what starts Tuesday? The freaking NBA. I can't wait. It's back in our lives because it's on NBC. Let's get to the plays. NFL time. Rams, Jacksonville. Not playing in Jacksonville, although, I mean, you could call it kind of their home away from home. They're now London yet again here. Are we going to give one good football game to the Europeans? Think about it. It's been just atrocious football game after atrocious football game, but now you got the Rams using Jacksonville, and the best player from both teams, Puka Nacua, is out. I guess you could say Sweat on the Rams side too, if we really wanted to. He's quite good at football. But the sum of the parts on the Jacksonville side, I do think they're intriguing if you're absolutely looking for an add-on, plus 145. Oh, I was going to bring this up as far as my leans go as well. The one play that I absolutely have a ton of interest in, Bo Nix over 1.5 passing touchdowns. At plus money, I'm probably going to have to play that. Let's be dead serious. You're probably going to see this after this video. It'll be like the last post of the posts, and then I'm probably going to put all my pick'em cards in. Why don't you guys jump in the Lindy Discord, whatever. Rams taking on Jacksonville, and this one, friends, has everything to do with the passing game on the Rams side in the absence of Puka Nacua. You're trying to replace like a projected 8.5 receptions, 11.5 targets, 95 receiving yards, half a touchdown every single time in terms of projection. I mean, we are just really spreading it out to everybody else here. And I think it's very clear who I want to be backing. In fact, I already bet this 2 days ago now, day and a half ago. Davante Adams, he was at 76.5 receiving yards. I don't see a way where Davante Adams isn't the featured guy here. Now, his receptions prop is up to 6.5. Getting a little bit too up there for me, but you just look at some of his aid. I mean, he can do downfield. I mean, he's going to have to do everything for the Rams here because Tutu Atwell, Jordan Whittington, well, they're okay and I think a little underappreciated. They're nowhere near the quality of Puka Nacua, obviously. So Davante Adams, he should have more of a 15-yard bump than what we've seen here in the absence of Puka Nacua. He would be sitting like in that mid-60s type range. I'll take the 80+ for sure against Jacksonville. As favorites, Matt Stafford, oh boy, this is going to be a fun one. I think we might actually get one good football game in Europe this year. I guess my Vikings had come from behind fashion with Carson Wentz. That was all right, but I was on a show. Carolina -1 taking on the Jetsies, and I get it. Carolina's defense has been very stout. They've looked really, really good throughout this season, and I do get that there are a lot of pieces on the Carolina offensive side that we should be very excited about, specifically McMillan. Also, Rico Dowdle, who went berserk, but now Chuba Hubbard comes back in. Hubba. Had a lot of people over the course of the last 2 days asking me about, hey, what do you see for Rico Dowdle here against the Jets? I don't know. I really don't know. You could tell me anything happens in this, and I wouldn't be surprised. You could say it went 75-25 Chuba, 75-25 Rico, 50-50 down the middle. I doubt anybody goes 90. I doubt we get any of like massive adjustment one way or another, but Chuba's got the big contract. Rico's had 2 amazing games, but is beating up on Dallas really all that impressive? Is it? Like, there's a lot of people who are going to beat up on Dallas defense this year. They're missing a pass rush. I wonder how they could have fixed that problem. An interior lineman? Oh, no. Well, he's outside, but that's different. He's an edge. Whatever. Anyway, Carolina taking on the Jets. I'm pretty excited. Well, excited's the wrong word. I'm pretty positive that this is a broken line to some extent. Plus 110 on the Jets side. I get it. They're 0-6, Eric. They're awful. Completely horrible. But they have so many good defensive pieces. Williams obviously being the Mr. Q. He is by far your best that you're looking at on the Jets side, but I think this is one where you just have to buy low on them. I get it. Garrett Wilson out doesn't help either, but I think Breece Hall should be doing a lot on the field here for the Jets in this spot. I do expect Josh Reynolds to operate as the number one. And then Mason Taylor is somebody who I've been staring his props down the barrel all week long. Tight end du jour. Probably won't end up pulling the trigger on it in the end, but in the end, kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What I meant to be will eventually be a memory at the time I tried. So it's plus money on the Jets side. Carolina is a -120, -130 favorite everywhere. I refuse to believe that Carolina deserves that type of respect, even against a Jets team. Hey, Justin Fields, can you make some plays this time around? Burned me last week, and wouldn't you know it, London. Philly taking on Minnesota. This game is very exciting, not just because I'm a Minnesota fan and I'm excited to see Philly after losing 2 in a row taking on Minnie, but I'm very, very excited about the prospects of Jordan Addison getting 1 week in and a bye week, and now we get to take on Philly. There's also a lot of secondary issues here with Philly as they have a lot of injuries in that spot. Quentin Mitchell, I mean, good luck. Good luck. Have fun, Philly. Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson confirmed pretty good. Plus, Carson Wentz out there against Philly. That narrative is going to be harped on ad nauseum on the telecast tomorrow. I can already see myself hitting the mute button on the old NFL Red Zone during those portions. Come on, let's be serious. I have Red Zone on one TV, then I go to the other TV, and I have my Minnesota game on. That's how I've always done it. That's how I will always do it. I'll probably just keep it on the Red Zone sound so I don't have to hear those sound bites. But friends. This is an offensive line on the Minnesota side that is getting back almost everybody outside of Ryan Kelly, who's not expected to play. So Minnesota, exponentially healthier with the offensive line. And the biggest question mark, I think, on the entire slate at any position for any team is Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter, questionable, could swing this line way towards the 80, 85 type number. Jordan Mason is at 69.5 rush yards. That is so broken if Jalen Carter is out. And if Jalen Carter plays, maybe he's limited. And this number isn't really going to move, maybe to 67.5, 68.5, but it is going to wildly move north of 75, 80. Jalen Carter is the most important defensive player on the line of any team in football. And that includes the Micah Parsons for Green Bay. The main reason is what he is able to do, stopping the run and creating pressure with a 3-man pass rush, which we saw constantly all of last season. Jalen Carter, he's just a big wrecking ball. And when Spitgate happened in week 1, we saw how bad Philly was against Javonte Williams. It's led to a pretty decent season for him, but I love Jordan Mason, 69.5 rush yards. There's no competition with Aaron Jones out. There's no way whatsoever another running back mixes in for 20-plus carries or anything like that. This is 20-plus carries of Jordan Mason, potentially without Jalen Carter out there. That would be beyond incredible. So pay attention to that news. I don't have it yet. I bet he warms up. We'll see what happens, but this number will wildly fly from sharp people in the event that Carter sits. All righty, y'all. Last play. You probably were waiting for it if you heard the preamble here, plus 525 touchdown. Where are we possibly going on today's slate? Let's get greasy, friends. The Indianapolis Colts taking on the Chargers. And the Colts have already played once in SoFi Stadium, that is, in LA. They played the Rams there earlier this year, and I would say that they came away from potentially winning that football game. Now, who was it that ended up having that fumblerooski? Well, hold on to the ball when you cross the goal line. That's number one. But number two, Adonai Mitchell. We have Josh Downs, who's out for this game with a concussion. We're going to have a shootout going both directions. And now we're going to get Quentin Johnston back on the Charger side, which is very exciting for them. And on the Indy side, with no Josh Downs, they're going to have to do this a little bit by committee with some of the back end guys as like a wide receiver 3 or 4. But right now it's Michael Pittman, and the market is projecting Alec Pierce to be like possession receiver, wide receiver 2 on the field more. And I don't think it really fits there. Now, I'm a big Alec Pierce stan because I think he adds a dimension to this offense with his deep playability that they just don't have at any other position. But Adonai Mitchell is a good, talented wide receiver. Did he make a boneheaded fumble there? Yes, but it came after an incredible spin move and had an awesome opportunity to blow that game open there for the Colts, and did the opposite there. Rams ended up taking that one down, but I think he's underappreciated. We actually don't have his receiving yards prop here, but they have his longest receptions posted at 14.5, which I don't agree with. I think he's got big playability in addition to Pierce here. And I think there's a chance that we see kind of what we saw a little bit in earlier weeks going towards Adonai Mitchell. He played 89% of the snaps in week 4. That was with no Alec Pierce. Ashton Dulin mixed in only 20%. Ashton Dulin then took over duties over Mitchell, 71%, only 9% of the snaps there with Alec Pierce, still out week 5. And then Josh Downs. Again, he's just been constantly that 50, 55% guy. Mitchell plays more of the slot. Mitchell can do more of that. That is not an Alec Pierce thing that you're going to ask him to do. Adonai Mitchell, anytime touchdown, plus 525. I know it's disturbing. I know it's greasy. I know it's awful. But getting back in the stadium that haunted him last 2 weeks, basically just been completely off the field, 9%, 0%. I think the Colts have to fire him back up. I think he gets his opportunity, and I think he takes advantage once of holding onto that ball across the goal line. Adonai Mitchell, anytime touchdown, plus 525. Woo, that's a spicy meatball. That's the longest one I've had all season long. Let's get ourselves out of here, shall we? Yeah, if I could find the button. 50% off. Join the Lindy Discord. 50% off. Weekly $10, monthly $25. Lindy NFL is the code down at the link below. And that does it for another edition of NFL Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Head to the comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays that exist on the board for this lovely slate we have before us for week 7. I'm going to be in the premium Discord all the rest of Saturday. I'm going to be in there Sunday. We're going to have one MLB game to talk about there, Seattle, Toronto. I think I found a little bit of an edge for that one. MLB playoffs continue to go strong in the NFL. Let's bounce back from a bad video last week, but it was a good weekend overall. Just wish I didn't parlay those touchdowns that time around. Wish I had the week before. That's usually how it goes. Those one legs, they'll catch you, friends. So that's why we are very, very calculated for our shots that we take. Adonai Mitchell. And that does it for another edition of NFL Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NFL streets for week 7. Bye.